Okay, let's continue our discussion, brothers and sisters. Part 2 para putol-putulin natin 'to. Parang gusto mong balikan, kayang balikan kaagad. Okay, so earlier we discussed the concept of income, no? So ngayon pag-usapan naman natin ang taxable income. Kasi maraming ibig sabihin ng income, eh. Merong income, tapos merong taxable income, may gross income, o 'di ba? 'Pag sinabing taxable income, maraming ibig sabihin niyan, okay? Actually, tatlong ibig sabihin niyan, eto 'yan. Meaning of taxable income, for individual taxpayers, undergraduated tax. Applicable din 'to sa domestic at saka RFC. 'Pag sinabing yung number 1 na 'to, this is actually the original definition of taxable income. Nag-iisa lang ang definition ng gross income sa tax code. Ano yung definition niya? Pertinent items of gross income less deductions authorized for such types of income by this code and other special law applicable to individual taxpayers using graduated tax and domestic corporations and RFC. Anong ibig sabihin niyan? Pertinent items of gross income less deduction. Eh di gross income less allowable deduction. Anong tawag diyan? Taxable income. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng taxable income. Ito yung alam na alam mo. Yan ang alam na alam mo. Okay, pangalawa. Eto, yung number 2 and number 3 basically are product of trade law. Nadagdagan ng panibagong definition ng taxable income because of the introduction of the 8% taxation on business income. Okay, ano meron dito? Sa number 2 muna tayo. Yung mga individual taxpayers classified as purely self-employed individuals at nag 8%. Okay, what is the meaning of the taxable income? Ang sabi diyan, gross sales and other non-operating income in excess of 250,000 of purely self-employed taxpayer who availed 8%. Okay, paano nga natin kino-compute 'yan? Eto 'yan, oh, tingnan mo yung ating formula. Formula, ito yung una pala, yun ang una, ito yung una, oh. Gross income less deductions, taxable income. O di ngayon mako-compute mo na yung tax due. Kapag individual, gamitin mo yung graduated tax rate. Kapag non-individual, gamitin mo yung 25% or 20%. Kung merong tax credit, ibawas mo, ayun ang still due or payable or overpayment kung sobra yung tax credit. Okay? Yung mga purely self-employed naman na pinili ang 8%, gross sales, gross receipts, assuming na meron pang hindi pa updated yung sa ano ng BOA, no? Kung gumagamit pa sila ng gross receipts, add non-operating income, total, less deduction. Ayun, ang binabanggit natin. Deduction talaga yung 250,000 eh. O tapos, taxable income na kagad. Okay, o di ngayon sa taxable income na to, gamitin mo lang 8%. Ayan ang kagad ang tax due, less tax credits, ayun ang tax payable or overpayment. So tandaan mo yung NOI, non-operating income ang ibig sabihin niyan. Mamaya expound natin ang ibig sabihin ng non-operating income. Okay? Ano pa? So ito yung isang ibig sabihin ng taxable income. Okay, anong mixed income earner tayo who opted 8% on business income? Aba, mixed income earner, compensation income earner na, tapos may business income pa. Anong meron sa compensation niya? How do we compute the tax due on compensation? Total compensation less non-taxable compensation para makuha natin ang taxable. Pag sinabing total, gross compensation din yan. Okay? Eh nag 8% dun sa ano? Nag 8% doon sa business income. How do we compute the taxable income? Aba, yung business income, mag-start ka sa gross sales, add non-operating income kaagad. Taxable income na kaagad yung business income. And then, i-multiply mo na ng 8%. Eh, bakit walang 250,000 katulad nito? Eh, simple lang. Kasi dito, nag-graduated tax ka doon sa compensation. Kaya hindi na siya pwede mag-benefit ng 250,000. Sa 8% na to, sa 8% na to, yung purely self-employed na nag 8%, anong meron diyan? Hindi na gagamitin kasi ang graduated tax table diyan. Kaya kung hindi na gagamitin, paano niya mapapakinabangan ang 250,000 na exemption under train law? Ginawa siyang deduction. Yan ngayon ang mga ibig sabihin ng taxable income. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so yan ang 1, 2, and 3. Tignan mo, ang definition ng taxable income sa number 3, gross sales and other non-operating income without the benefit of 250,000. Ito, in excess of 250, that's the difference. Okay, bakit? Again, wala na itong 250 kasi doon sa kanyang compensation, ginamit na yung 250,000 first year bracket ng ating graduated tax table. Okay? So, papaano kung mixed income earner siya, eh, wala na siyang ano, compensation o kaya mas malaki pa ang 250,000, pwede bang ibawas ang excess doon sa business income? Ang sagot, hindi. Bakit? Ayan na nga yung sinabi gross sales or gross receipts, add non-operating income, multiply by 8% na kagad. Bakit? Taxable income na kasi iyon. Okay? So, wag niyong kakalimutan, basically, this is the format, no? In computing taxable income in all types of taxpayers. Okay? Ngayon, pag-usapan na natin ang mga items of gross income. Okay? Tuloy natin to. Items of gross income. Okay. Mga kapatid, pag-usapan natin yung kauna-una, yung definition ng gross taxable income. Ito. Okay? So, items of gross income, ano bang ibig sabihin nito? So, parang ganito yan, no? How do we compute taxable income? So, ang sabi natin, gross income less allowable deduction. So, itong formula na to, kanino mag-a-apply? Yung sa mga individual taxpayers na gagamit ng graduated tax. Sino itong mga to? Nag-itemize siya o kaya nag-OSD siya. Sa non-individual taxpayer naman, applicable kaagad to. Bakit? Wala siyang 8% So, anong meron dito? In computing taxable income, what is the formula? Gross income less allowable deduction. Tandaan mo, ang gross income, merong mga inclusions. Ang mga inclusions, lahat yan taxable. Tapos, dapat alam mo din yung mga exclusions. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya isasama dyan. Bakit? Exempted kasi yan. Exempt. Basta exempt yan. Okay, so inclusions, dapat alam mo yung mga items to be included in the gross income and to be excluded. Okay, bakit yung mga exclusions? Exempted kasi. So ngayon, yung allowable deductions, dalawa. Merong itemized, merong optional standard deductions. Okay? Yung itemized deductions, tatlo to. Meron tayong regular allowable itemized deductions, meron tayong special allowable itemized deductions, at meron tayong NOLCO, yung net operating loss from previous year. Nagpa-fall yan under itemized deductions. So pag binawas mo na yung allowable deductions, either itemized or OSD, dun sa mga items of gross income, taxable income na tayo. So ngayon, this part, we will discuss the different items of gross income. Okay? So ngayon, i-define muna natin ano bang ibig sabihin ng gross income. So merong isang tao dati nagsabi, no, wala raw definition ng gross income. Aba, ang sabi ko naman, mali. Meron 'yan. Okay? Ang definition ng gross income under the tax code can be found in Section 32A of the tax code. Okay? Hindi kakaraniwan yung definition ng gross income doon. Bakit? Tignan mo, nagsimula sa exception. Okay? Exception. Except as otherwise provided. Ibig sabihin exception yan. Tapos dito, gross income means all income derived from whatever source. So, ibig sabihin, general rule, lahat ng income are items of gross income. Except as otherwise provided. Okay? So, anong ba yung mga enumerated under Section 32A? Ay, bago yan, tignan mo muna yung phrase, including but is not limited to the following, which presupposes that the enumerations therein is not exclusive. Ano ba yung mga enumeration? Under Section 32A, ayan. Ito yung mga items of gross income. Compensation, gross income from trade, gains, interest, rents, royalties, dividends, annuities, prices and winnings. Di ba mga ano yan? Di ba mga passive income yan? Oo. Kaya kung ikaw narinig mo na ang mga passive income daw, general rule ay subject sa final tax, mali! Bakit? Ang general rule, regular income tax ang mga income. Exception, kapag yan ay hindi na yan ordinary or active income. Explain natin sa iyo mamaya yan, isa-isay natin. Okay, kaya hindi totoo na mga passive incomes are generally subject to final tax. Ang general rule, regular income tax tayo, exception lang yung subject sa final tax. Okay, so meron pa dyan pension. Sir, ang pension tax exempt yan ba't may taxable? Kasi nga, general rule is taxation. Exception is the exemption. Okay, kapag hindi nasunod yung mga requirements for exemption, natural taxable yan. At saka yung partner share in the income of the general professional partnership, yan ay items of gross income. Inclusions yan. Pag sinabing inclusions, anong gagawin mo? Lahat ng yan, lahat ng mga gross income, i-report mo under in your ITR. Bakit ITR? That's how you report the income for BIR purposes. Okay? O ngayon, i-simplify natin. So parang ganito yan. General rule, all incomes are items of gross income. So which means, as a rule, kapag meron kang income, gross income yan. Exceptions. Hindi na siya gross income. Hindi mo na siya isasama doon kung exclusion yan. Bakit hindi mo na isasama? Kasi yung mga exclusions, anong treatment yan? Exempted. Exempt yung mga yan Exempt. Kaya wag mo nang isasama. Kasi pag sinama mo, sa gross income mo, matatax yan. Kasi nga, gross income, yun ang nire-report natin Wag mo na rin isasama sa inclusions yan kung yan ay exempted by law. Sinabi ng batas, exempted yan. Natural, hindi mo yan itatax. Example, Republic Act 9504, yung minimum wage law. Nakalagay doon, exempted yung mga sweldo ng mga minimum wage earners. Then natural, hindi mo na siya isasama sa gross income mo. Bakit? Exempted yan Pangatlo, kapag subjected sa final tax, including capital gains tax and fringe benefit tax, hindi mo na siya isasama sa gross income mo, reportable in your income tax returns. Bakit? Balikan natin ang concept ng final tax. If an income has been subjected to final tax, the final tax withheld is constituted as full and final settlement of tax liability. The income earner is no longer required to report the income. Bakit? Fully paid na siya. Yung tax na kinaltas sa kanya, final tax na. Wala na siyang babayaran therefore. Kaya nga, hindi mo na siya isasama sa gross income na taxable. Okay? Excluded na siya. Exceptions ang mga yan. Okay? So, ngayon, puntahan natin to. Isa-isahin na natin ang mga inclusions. Ano ba yung mga items of gross income? Okay, again, ito yung mga items of gross income na tinatawag natin. Okay, hindi yan exclusive list, kaya meron pang mga income, kung meron pang mga income na hindi nabanggit, edi yan ay isasama natin. Okay? Bakit? Basta hindi yan exception, kasama yan sa general rule. Ngayon, isayin natin. Let's start with number 1. Ayun yung number 1, compensation. So, anong meron sa compensation? Simplify lang natin to. Kasi mga simple naman talaga to Compensation for services in whatever form paid. So, ibig sabihin, basta ikaw ay nag-render ng service, binayad sa'yo yan under employer-employee relationship in whatever form. So, ibig sabihin, empleyado ka, nag-render ka ng service, okay, binayaran ka ng cash, compensation yan in whatever form paid. Binayaran ka ng property, compensation din yan. Kasi nga, ang sabi ng batas natin, in whatever form paid. Basta yan ay under employer-employee relationship. Including but not limited to the following. Ano yung ba yung binayad sa'yo? Salaries and wages. Yan kasi pinaka-common Minsan, kahit professional fee ang binayad sa'yo, iyan ay pwedeng compensation din. And basta yan ay paid under employer-employee relationship. Ang mga sweldo ay hindi lang laging salaries and wages. The basis can be commission. Example niyan, yung mga drivers at saka konduktor, no? Ang kanilang form of payment ng kanilang compensation, they are paid by commissions. So kahit na commission yan, compensation pa rin yan under the tax code. Bakit? Basta merong employer-employee relationship, compensation yan. And other similar items. Sir, paano kung halimbawa yung isang tao, professional fee ang binabayad or consultancy fee? Ano yon? Di ba expanded withholding tax yan? Oo, kung walang employer-employee relationship. Okay? O ngayon, anong ibig bang sabihin ng compensation? Ito yung ibig sabihin ng compensation. Define natin. Compensation means lahat ng ibinayad ng employer sa empleyado basta under employer-employee relationship unless specifically excluded by the tax code. So, kung merong mga exclusions, hindi mo siya isasama sa compensation sapagkat ang compensation ay item of gross income na taxable. So kapag in-exclude siya, hindi mo siya isasama. Example ng exclusion, 13th month pay. Exclusion from gross income yan. Kaya pag may 13th month pay, binabawas natin sa compensation yan sa gross kasi nga, exclusion yun. O, di ba? Mga SSS, mandatory statutory contributions, exclusion din yung mga yan. O, di ba? So, yan ang ibig sabihin ng compensation. Again, tatandaan mo ha, any or all payments made by the employer under employer-employee relationship, okay, as a rule, yan ay compensation. Bakit as a rule? Merong exception. Basta excluded yan, hindi mo na siya isasama. Kasi yung compensation, itatax natin. Okay? Sir, bakit yung minimum wage earner? Yan ba ay exclusion? Hindi yun exclusion. Exempt yun. Iba ang exclusion sa exception. Mamaya, pagdating natin sa exclusions, pag-usapan ulit natin yan. Okay, now, how do you know if an employee is an employee? Aba, sa ating Labor Code of the Philippines, merong test in determining existence thereof. What are the 4 tests? If a person has a power to hire, okay, pays wages, has the power to terminate, and the most important power or tests is the power of control. Pag meron niyang apat na yan, merong employer-employee relationship. Kung merong employer-employee relationship, ang bayad sa empleyado is compensation. Sir, paano kung walang employer-employee relationship? Independent contractor yung nagre-render ng service. Okay, just like me, with with a review center, am I considered an employee of a review center? The answer is no. So, bakit sir hindi ka empleyado? Did they hire me? Yes. So, letter A, check. Binabayaran ba ako ng professional fee? Yes. Wage din yan. Can they terminate me anytime? Aba, oo naman. Okay, but do they have control over me? They cannot control the way I teach or how I teach things. There's no power of control. So therefore, it's clear na walang employer-employee relationship. So, anong meron dyan? Independent contractor ako, kaya ang payment nila sa akin dapat subject yan sa expanded withholding tax, which I need to report and which is actually I am reporting. Okay, yung kinakaltas sa akin, tax credits ko na lang. Pero kung sakali, present yung apat, ano ako? Empleyado ako. Kung empleyado ako, ang bayad sa akin, compensation, kahit na professional fee pa, ang booking niyan. Okay, now, look at this. Ang sabi ng ating Revenue Regulations 2-98, no matter how you call the payment made by the employer to the employee, we don't care. Okay? Wala silang pakialam no matter how you call it. They say it's immaterial. Ibok mong salaries and wages yan, compensation yan. Ibok mong emolument yan, compensation yan. Yung ikaw yung isang empleyado to ha. So ngayon, ginawa mo siyang speaker. Aba, binigyan mo ng honorarium, compensation yan. Sir, bakit compensation yan? Kasi nga, any or all payments made by the employer to the employee is compensation. Binibigyan mo ng allowance, fixed allowance to. Binigyan mo lagi buwan ng panggasolina, 10,000. Binibigyan mo ng weekly na pangkain. Ayan, representation entertainment. Aba, compensation yan. Sir, fixed yan. Paano pag variable? Aba, expense yun. Ito, although compensation expense to, pero yon variable yon, iba yon. Eto, commission. Kakasabi lang natin parang bus drivers at saka conductor. They are paid by commissions. Anong tawag doon? Compensation. Eto, fees including director's fees. Sabi nga natin, kahit professional fee ang booking mo, if they exist, employee-employee relationship, Compensation yan. Sir, anong ibig sabihin ng director's fee? Ito yung binabayad sa mga members of the board na nag-a-attend ng meeting. Kaya nga director's fee yan, mga board meetings. So sir, paano yon kung yung member of the board of directors, na pag-usapan na natin to sa withholding tax system. Kapag ang isang member of the board of director is employee, yung director's fee na binayad is compensation. Sir, bakit? Kasi nga, any or all payments made by the employer to the employee is compensation. Eh sir, paano pag ang director, independent siya? Eh di hindi siya empleyado. Eh di kung hindi siya empleyado, anong ikakaltas mo? Expanded, withholding tax. Eto, since ito ay compensation, anong ikakaltas mo? Withholding tax on compensation. Ganun lang kasimple. Oh, taxable bonuses, compensation yan. Oh, dito, fringe benefits given to rank and file employees. Di ba? Kapag fringe benefit binigay mo sa managerial, persons holding managerial position, as a rule, fringe benefit tax yan. Exception, kahit binigay mo siya ng fringe benefit, exempted yan kung can ABC, convenience, advantage, necessary in trade, required by the nature, authorized by law. Yan ay benefits given to rank and file. Di ba? Yan yung contributions at saka yung de minimis benefits. Exempted yan sa fringe benefit tax. Bakit exempted? Yan nga yung kasagutan. Pero pag binigay mo ang fringe benefit, ano nga yung fringe benefits? Ito yung housing, expense, vehicle, household expenses, interest, membership fee, expenses for foreign travel, holiday expenses, educational assistance, at saka life insurance in excess what the law allows. Aba, pag binigay mo yan sa rank and file, anong treatment natin? Additional compensation. Therefore, kung additional compensation yan, subject yan sa withholding tax and compensation. Taxable pension. General rule, ang pension, taxable. Exception, exemption. Okay, so kapag hindi nasunod ang requirements for exemption, taxable. Yung nga lagi natin sinasabi, rules of statutes of construction of exemption. Okay, tapos dito, retirement pay. Oh, same. Oh, general rule, taxable ang mga yan. Exception lang yung exemption. Oh, halimbawa, yung retirement pay. Oh, 50 years old, 10 years of service, first time to retire. Reasonable yung plan. Oh, tapos ang company merong approved plan ha. O di exempted. Pag hindi nasunod, taxable. Ayan yan, compensation. Liquidated advances where employee benefited. O, meron nagsabi, dati may share lang natin, no, para baka kasi nababasa niyo yung ibang materials eh. Sabi ng isa, pag reimbursement daw, in compensation din daw yon. Ang sabi ko, hindi. Hindi yan compensation. We're talking about reimbursement, ha? Okay. Ano ba yung reimbursement? Parang ganito yun, oh. Ako yung employer. Ikaw yung employee. Ang sabi ko sa iyo, empleyado, uy, nasa labas ka pala, pabili naman akong bond paper 1,000. Ikaw naman, bumili ka ng bond paper 1,000. So, ngayon, ito yung bond paper. Merong sales invoice din yan. Ayun, SI, 1,000. Okay, so ngayon, pagbalik mo sa opisina, binigay mo sa akin ang SI. Binigay mo sa akin ang bond paper. Tapos, binayaran kita ng 1,000. Binayaran kita. Anong tawag doon? Reimbursement. Ay, ngayon, income mo ba yan? Hindi. Hindi yan income. Okay, bakit? Wala ka namang sale of service dyan. Okay, so ngayon, ano naman yung advances? Kabaligtaran ng reimbursement yan. So halimbawa, advances is like this. Meron akong 1,000, binigay ko sa iyo. Sabi ko sa iyo, pwede ba ako magpabili sa iyo ng bond paper? Ang sabi mo, oo. Bakit ka umoo? Wala kang magagawa eh. So ngayon, bumili ka ng bond paper, 700 lang. So, merong sales invoice yan. At eto, ngayon, ang bond paper. So, pagkatapos mong bumili, binigay mo sa akin ang sales invoice, binigay mo sa akin ang bond paper, at binigay mo sa akin ang sukle na 300. Aba, ang tawag dyan, full liquidation. Ibig sabihin, na i-report mo ng tama yung gastos ng ating pamahalaan, ay ng ating, kasi parang ganyan lang sa gobyerno. I-liquidate mo, yun ang tawag dyan. O, di ngayon, walang problema kasi balanse tayo. Natanggap mo 1,000, hindi mo income yan. Anong ibig sabihin ng unliquidated? Where the employee benefited. Nung pinabili kita ng 1,000 pesos, binigay ko sa iyo yung 1,000, pambili. Bumili ka ng 700. May invoice 700. nasa iyo yung bond paper. Ang ginawa mo, binigay mo sa akin yung invoice, binigay mo din sa akin yung bond paper. Pero yung sukle, anong ginawa sa sukle? Ayaw mong ibalik. Sabi mo, bikinimin. Sabi ko, sige, sa'yo na. Binigay ko sa'yo yan. Sa'yo na. Keep the change. Aba, you benefited. Yung 300, anong tawag dyan? Compensation. Isasama yan sa salaries and wages sapagkat ikaw ay nag-benefit. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. Tuloy na buhay. Kapag hindi binalik ang sukle, ang ginagawa, salary deduction. Okay? And other income of similar nature. Okay, mga kapatid, ay yung sa notes natin, tips and gratuities, though taxable as an item of gross income, are not part of compensation, hence not subject to WTC or withholding tax on compensation. Ang ibig sabihin yan, yung tips and gratuities. Sino ba nakakatanggap ng tips and gratuities? Mga waiters, yung mga nagmamasahe, mga grab drivers, okay, yung mga taxi drivers, yung mga barbero, okay, basta mga taong tumatanggap ng tip. Taxable ba yung mga yan? Ay, oo. Kapag walang rule exempting all of these, taxable. Taxable yan. Tuloy na buhay, nire-report ba yan? Hindi. Pero, ikaw, dapat alam mo yung batas na taxable yan. Bakit hindi yan part ng compensation? Kasi, ang nagbigay niyan, mga customers, hindi naman yan binigay ng employer. Kaya hindi yan compensation. Okay, bang customers ba yung employer? Hindi. Okay, so, ayan. SR subject ba sa expanded withholding tax? Hindi. Kasi kung subject yan sa expanded withholding tax, magtitip ka ng 100, alangan namang kaltasan ng 2% yan. Tapos, magtataka, sir, bakit po 98 ang, ang tip mo sa amin? Kasi merong expanded withholding tax ng 2%. Di ba? Parang nakakatawa. Kaya hindi subject sa EWT yung mga tips and gratuities. Okay, ito, usapan natin ng konti. Share-based compensation is subject to withholding tax on compensation, whether managerial or rank and file employees once exercised. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Explain natin sa iyo mabuti. Merong mga companies, halimbawa ABC Corporation, okay, ang nagbigay ng benefit sa mga empleyado, whether managerial or rank and file. Binibigyan ng karapatan magmay-ari ng company. Bibigay sila ng shares. Okay? So ngayon, halimbawa nagbigay na lang ng benefit 500,000. Okay, 500,000 ang benefit na binigay sa iyo. Parang halimbawa, pag naka 15 years ka na, bibigyan ka namin 500,000 na shares of stocks. Ang tawag diyan, share-based compensation. So ngayon, pag in-exercise mo na 'yan, anong meron dito? Okay, yung 500,000 is compensation. Compensation. Regardless of the classification. Okay? Dati kasi, old rule to ha, old rule. Pag manager, FBT yan, kapag rank and file, withholding tax on compensation. Ngayon, binago ni Commissioner yung interpretation niya. Basta share-based compensation yan, ang tumanggap, manager or rank and file, yan ay additional compensation subject to withholding tax on compensation. Mas tama naman talaga yan. Okay, kasi nga, ang pangalan niya share-based compensation, tapos EFBT, di ba? Ang corny. Okay, so ngayon, consistent tayo ha. Yan ay withholding tax on compensation. Huwag kang gumaya sa iba ng EFBT. Yung iba lang. Okay, now, let's classify the compensation. Meron tayong tinatawag na regular at saka supplementary. Sometimes they call this supplemental, but that's fine, parehas lang. How do you know if a regular compensation is regular? Fixed yan. Basic salary, buwan-buwan yan. Fixed allowance, nagbibigay ng 10,000 pangkain mo, pang-meeting mo, representation allowance yan. Fixed pala yan monthly pala yan lagi nagbibigay ng panggasolina, pamasahe, araw-araw yan, o lingguhan, or monthly. Regular yan, fixed yan. Okay, nagbibigay sa'yo ng panghulog mo sa bahay mo. Fixed yan, regular compensation yan. O COLA, basta COLA, matic yan. Yan ay regular compensation, cost of living allowance, and other allowances. Basta fixed. Ngayon, as the term suggests, ito supplementary compensation. Okay, ibig sabihin, dagdag lang sa mga sweldo mo to. Ang supplementary compensation, what makes them different from regular is ito ay karaniwan performance-based. Performance-based. Okay? So, ito yung ating key. Okay? So, ayusin mo na lang yung materials mo. O, ano meron dyan? Parang confidential fund photo chart. So, commission. O, pag nakabenta ka, di may commission ka. Yung commission na yan, empleyado ka na, tumanggap ka pa ng commission kasi nakabenta ka. Ay, di, compensation yan. Anong klase compensation? Supplementary. Bakit? Performance-based eh. Okay? Ito, director's fees. Anong meron diyan? Aba, nag-a-attend, hinikita lang naman niya pag nag-a-attend sa board meeting eh. O, edi, supplemental nga yan. O, ito, profit sharing. Performance-based ulit. Bakit? Kung merong profit, merong share ang mga empleyado. Kung wala, edi wala. Hazard pay. O, kung ikaw ay exposed to danger lang naman yan ang hazard pay. If you're not exposed to danger, pwedeng wala niyan. Kaya supplemental yan. Overtime. Performance-based. OT eh. Taxable 13th month pay. Kaya nga sabi ko, karaniwan lang to. Lumampas ng 90,000 yung 13th month pay mo. Aba, supplemental yan. Dagdag sa compensation mo. Kaya nga sa supplementary, other taxable benefit na hindi fixed. At saka mga taxable bonus, mga retirement pay, matik yan, ang treatment dyan, supplemental. Okay? So, yan ang classification ng ating compensation, whether regular or supplementary. Again, itong mga to, fixed yan. Ito, performance-based yan. Now, let's talk about minimum wage earners. Okay? So, minimum wage earners, ang kanilang income is exempted. Anong mga income yan? Yung statutory minimum wage nila. When you say statutory, batas ito. Anong batas yan? Yung mga tinatawag na wage order. Okay? Ang wage order ay ni-issue ng Regional Tripartite Wage and Regulatory Board. So, sa bawat region, iba-iba ang minimum wage kasi iba-iba ang standard of living natin. So, bukod sa basic wage, yung MW, ang HAN, exempted din. Minimum wage earner ka, MWE, exempted din yung holiday pay mo, overtime, night shift, at saka hazard pay. Pero under the rules, ang hazard pay para ma-exempt, dapat ang minimum wage earner ay dapat exposed to danger. Kapag binigyan ng minimum wage, as a matter of rule, pag binigyan ng hazard pay, ang minimum wage earner na hindi siya exposed to danger, pwedeng matax yan. Okay, bakit pwedeng matax? Kasi sa tunay na buhay, hindi naman masyadong pinapatulan ng BIR yan. Diyos ko, minimum wage earner, binigyan ng hazard pay. Kailangan namang itakas mo. Okay, pero it can be. Okay? Lalong-lalo na kung meron siyang taxable na mga income. So, anong example ng taxable income ng isang minimum wage earner? Aba, pag nakabenta siya tapos binigyan siya ng commission, taxable yan. Empleyado siya, minimum wage earner. Clerk ito, o kaya janitor, or low-level paying job. Tapos pinag-talk mo, ang topic is paano kanya mahalin, or paano magmahal, whatever. Binigyan mo ngayon ng honorarium bilang speaker, ay hindi yan exempted sa income ng minimum wage. Honorarium yan, taxable yan. Binigyan mo siya ng fringe benefits, ang rank and file, ay additional compensation yan, di ba? Taxable ang treatment yan. Basta tatandaan mo, basta hindi yan HAN, minimum wage, ay hindi yan exempted. Yung kung meron kang binigay na benefits in excess of 90,000 threshold, taxable din yan. Binigyan mo siya ng mga allowances, taxable yan. Example ng allowance, paggasolina, monthly, taxable allowance yan. Okay, other taxable income given by the employer. Ano pa? Note, any reduction or diminution of wages for purposes of exemption from income tax shall constitute misrepresentation. And, ito yung impact niyan, shall result to automatic disallowance of an expense. Explain natin sa iyo. Halimbawa, ang basic pay nito, basic pay ng isang empleyado, 1,000. Taxable yan? Oo. Bakit? Lampas yan ng ₱685 dun sa graduated tax table natin ng pinakamataas na daily wage, hindi minimum wage daily wage. Na hindi minimum wage is 685. So, anong ginawa mo? Okay, halimbawa lang ang minimum wage is 600. So, ikaw nagmamagaling ka na accountant 'no, lahat ng empleyado na 1,000 ang basic pay, ganito na ang magiging policy natin para hindi kayo ma-tax. Nagmamagaling ka, gagawin namin kayong minimum wage earner, kapag minimum wage earner ka, exempt ka. Okay, tapos yung 400 gagawin naming de minimis benefit, tax shield yung tawag dito. 1,000 pa rin naman ang tatanggapin mo, pero hindi ka magbabayad ng tax. Aba, pwede ba yan? Ito yung sinasabi yan. Ayun, ayan yan. Any reduction or diminution of wages for purposes of exemption from income tax shall constitute misrepresentation and automatic disallowance of the expense, the compensation for income tax purposes. Okay, bawal yan kung sumusweldo ng 1,000 yung empleyado. Pero kung bago lang yan, i-enforce mo yung rule na yon, tax shield, pwede yan. Okay? Kaya tatandaan mo yung kasi meron tayong rules sa labor code non-diminution of compensation. Hindi pwedeng bawasan ang sweldo ng mga tao. Okay? Kaya, ang sabi ng tax code, misrepresentation yan pag ginawa mo. Pero pag bagong empleyado, pala ka, pwede yan. Okay, let's go now to illustrations. Okay? Si Ray ay isang minimum wage earner. Minimum wage earner. Anong maiisip mo dapat dyan? E di yung minimum wage plus HAN exempted. He is not engaged in business or nor has any other source of income other than his compensation. Ang tawag kay Ray, purely compensation income earner. During the year, ano meron? Meron siyang total compensation income of 135,000. Tapos, meron siyang nag-contribute siya ng SSS, PhilHealth, HDMF, 5,000 and has received 30th month pay of 11,000. Nilagay natin dito, compute his compensation income Bakit? Kasi, ang nasa revenue regulations, 8/2018 in relation to 11/2018, Diyos ko po, ang nakalagay sa regulation, taxable compensation. Hindi pwede maging taxable yan, minimum wage earner nga si Ray Now, so therefore, how do we compute the compensation income? Easy. Total compensation niya, 135,000. Pag sinabing total, ang ibang term na ginagamit dyan talaga, gross compensation income. So kapag sinabi mong gross, lahat ng binayad ng employer sa employee, gross lahat yan. Tapos ibawas mo na lang yung mga mandatory contributions ng taxable benefit, yung mandatory contributions, employee share yan. Share niya yan sa SSS PhilHealth Pag-ibig. Ikakaltas mo yan, i-limit mo sa SSS PhilHealth Pag-ibig. Yung 11,000 ano to, yan yung 30th month pay, ibawas mo din sa total compensation para kung yung matira taxable, edi i-tax natin. Pero ito, minimum wage earner kasi, kaya exempted yan. So, ang compensation income niya, 190,000. Kapag minimum wage earner, hindi natin gagamitin ng graduated tax table. Tanong, exempted to, yung 190,000, letter A, minimum wage earner kasi siya. Letter B, below 250,000. Best answer, letter A tayo. Kaya exempted yan kasi minimum wage earners taxpayer. Okay? So, balikan natin to. Eto mga kapatid, yung minimum wage na to, yan, hindi natin ang ginagamitan ng graduated tax table. Ito ang gagamitan mo, yung total ng taxable. Sir, paano pag hindi lumampas ng 250,000? Exempted pa rin. Okay, dito tayo. The following year, Ray earned aside from his basic wage additional pay of 140,000, which consists of overtime, night shift, hazard pay, and holiday pay. Han yan eh. He has the same benefits and contributions above. Magkano yung compensation income ni Ray? Easy. Total compensation, 135. Tapos ito pa yung dagdag niya, overtime, night shift, hazard pay. Galing ito sa revenue regulation, total niyan 140. So ang total compensation niya gross 275,000. Kinantasan ng 5,000 tsaka 13th month pay na 11,000. Non-taxable benefit yan, so 16,000. So compensation income 259. Tanong, yan ba ay taxable kasi lumampas ng 250,000? Ang sagot, hindi. Bakit? Minimum wage earner si Ray. Okay, is exempt as an MWE. Ano pa? Ito, maganda to. Comprehensive problem on compensation to. Si Nicanor ay empleyado ng isang kumpanya, si clerk. Below are the different types of payment he received from the company for the year. Tignan natin. Ang tanong, ano muna yung mga tanong? Magkano yung non-taxable exempt? Aba, edi mga 30th month pay, statutory contributions yan. De minimis benefit, yun ang mga exempted. Ano yung total regular? Aba, basta fixed yan, regular yan. Total supplementary. Aba, basta CF photo yan. CF photo. Lahat yan, supplementary. Magkano yung taxable compensation? Pag sinabing taxable compensation, gross less exempt income, non-taxable. Ay, yun pala, tinanong din. Magkano ang gross compensation? Ibig sabihin, lahat ng taxable at saka exempt, gross ang tawag din dyan. Tapos magkano yung income tax due? Ibig sabihin, annual ang tanong dyan. Kasi, doon sa withholding tax withholding tax system, ang ginagawa natin doon, monthly na kaltas. Yung graduated tax table na yon, monthly yon. Okay? Pagdating ng December, nag-annualize tayo. Pag in-annualize natin, ibig sabihin, annual din yung computation ng income tax due ng empleyado. Kaya meron tayong illustration yan. And question number 7, magkano dapat ang ikakaltas ng company? Kasi nga, nalaman na, due to annualization, ito yon. Malalaman natin kung magkano yung income tax due. So ngayon, yung from January to November na kinaltas mo, i-compare mo doon sa income tax due. Kung kulang, magkaltas ka sa sweldo sa December. Kung sobra, i-refund mo. Huwag ka na magkakaltas. Kung sakto na, equal na, ay wala ka nang gagawin. Bakit? Sakto na eh. Sagutan natin. Question number 1, magkano yung non-taxable compensation? Okay, tignan muna natin yung mga items dito. 30th month pay down. Ay, 100,000? Mag-iingat ka sa mga gayan. Isulat mo kaagad, 90,000 lang yung threshold. So ngayon, yung 10,000, anong tawag doon? Excess. Ano nga yung excess? Supplementary yung 10,000 na excess. Taxable. Taxable 30th yan, di ba? Yan yung photo. De minimis, exempt yan. SSS, ay, exclusion from gross income yan. Basic salary per month, 100,000, 1.2 in 1 year. Fixed, ay, RC, regular compensation, COLA, regular compensation, housing allowance, regular, commission, supplementary, hazard pay, supplementary overtime. Ayan, eto, anong tawag dyan? Regular compensation, regular compensation. Nako, yan pa lang, masasagot mo na itong mga katanungan na to. Anong tanong? Magkano yung non-taxable at saka exempt? Aba, simple lang. Alin ang exempt yan? Ito, nakita mo na kanina, 90,000 lang yan. Ay di, 13th month pay, 90,000. Ano pa? De minimis benefit, kaka-discuss lang natin last meeting. 30,000 exempt. Ano pa? Yung mga statutory contributions or mandatory contributions, employee share, 20,000. So, non-taxable lahat yan, 140,000. Sabi ko, employee share. Paano pag employer? Expense ng employer yan. Salaries and wages. So, tayo sa number 2. So, check na tayo sa number 1. Tinatanong tayo kung magkaning regular compensation. Pinagmamarkahan mo na kanina eh. Alin yan? Basic salary per month. Di ngayon, magkano yan? 1.2 million. Ano pa? Fixed representation. Fixed transportation. COLA at saka fixed housing allowance. Basta yan fixed. Matic. Regular compensation yan. Di check ka na sa number 2. Diba? Napakadali. Tinatanong ka magkano supplementary. Ano susulat mo kagad dyan? CF photo. Okay. Ano yung C? Commission check. Ayun. Profit sharing. Ayun. Ang profit sharing. Hazard pay. Ayun. Ang hazard pay. Okay. Tapos overtime. Overtime. Ayun. Total mo lang lahat yan. Pero, wag mong kakalimutan yung alin. Meron kang excess na 10,000 kanina rito. Naku po, yan ang mga mag-iingat ka. So, supplementary yan. Ang tawag dyan, total niyan, 360. Check ka na. Tapos. Yan yung taxable 30th month pay. Punta tayo ngayon. Tinatanong tayo magkano yung taxable compensation. Di lahat ng regular compensation at saka supplementary compensation, lahat yan. Yan ay taxable. Easy. Tinatanong tayo magkano gross. Kung gross, lahat ng binigay, taxable or exempt, gross nga eh. So minsan tawag ng mga problems na nakikita ko, total compensation, ibig sabihin gross 'yon. Pero sa practice, gross ang ginagamit talaga natin, gross compensation. Okay, dito naman tayo. Magkano yung income tax due? Aba. Na-compute mo na yung gross, 1.9 million. Yun ang gross. Okay, ibawas mo yung non-taxable or exempt. Ibabawas mo lang. Yung matitira, pag binawas mo yon, taxable compensation niya. Ngayon, kung siya ay multiple employer during the year, ibig sabihin, meron siyang employer nung January to March, halimbawa lang, tumanggap siya ng compensation, taxable compensation from previous employer, idadagdag mo. Sir, bakit idadagdag? Consolidated kasi ang sweldo ng isang empleyado na multiple employer. Di ba nga, kaya nga required sila mag-file ng return eh. Dalawa kasi ang 2316 niyan. Kaya ikaw na pangalawang accountant, yung succeeding company, anong gagawin mo? I-consolidate mo yung income para masiguro na tama yung kaltas. Dito wala naman siyang employer na prior employer. Kaya walang problema. So, gross taxable compensation tayo, 1,760,000. Gamitin mo na ngayon ang graduated tax table. Sir, bakit graduated? Annualization ang tawag dito. In-annualize natin. So, nalaman mo na yung tax due niya, 418,000. So, magkano dapat ang ikakaltas mo? In 1 year, dapat total 418,000. Bakit? Para siya ma-qualify for substituted filing kung purely compensation income earner to. Kasi wala naman siya multiple employer eh. Kaya, required yan. Ano nga yung requirement nun? Ito yung requirement ng substituted filing, diba? Dapat purely compensation income earner. Dapat one employer. Tax due is equal to tax withheld. Ito yung ginagawa mo para makasiguro ka na tama yung kaltas. And kasama sa alpha list of employees, pinareceive kay BIR. So ngayon, puntahan natin to yung 418,000. Okay, bakit natin pinag-uusapan yan? Parang ganito yan, oh. Ba't tayo nag-annualize? Simple lang. The reason why we annualize. Kasi nga, para malaman kung tama yung kaltas. So parang ganito, balikan natin yung withholding tax system sa compensation. Halimbawa, ang tax due is 418. Okay? Tapos, yung withheld, yung nakaltas mo mula January to November, halimbawa lang, ang nakaltas mo 400,000. Anong gagawin mo? Kulang yung kaltas, kaya yung 18, kaltasan mo ng December yan. So, pag nakinaltasan mo ng December yung sweldo niya nung December, ang total niyan, 418 na. So, tama na siya. So, substituted filer yan kung sakasakali. Paano kung 418,000 ang tax due, ang nakaltas mo 430,000 na mula January to November? Hala, wag ka na magkakaltas sa sweldo nito sa December. Bakit? Overpayment na eh. Ang gagawin mo, i-refund mo na lang yan sa kanya, bigay mo kaagad. Refund mo, meron siya refundable. Paano pag 418,000 ang tax due, tapos 480 na kagad ang nakaltas mula January to November? Di yung sweldo niya, ibigay mo ng buo, huwag kang magkakaltas. Ito yung tinatawag nating annualization method para makasiguro tayo na tama yung ating magiging kaltas dun sa kanyang sa sweldo ng ating empleyado. Okay, so basically, that's the first part of our discussion. Okay? On items of gross income.